All right, what's up? Back in the saddle. It's time for a live stream covering the issues, the facts, the scoop. What's the hot scoop? We got 200 plus nerds already in the chat. Welcome. Thank you guys. Jay's nervous. You got it, buddy. I'm shaking. I got a little shake going up my leg because I'm nervous. But I won't resort to begging because I'm nervous. And I need you all to super chat to pay for my cocaine habits because I'm over here sniffing all the cocaine. Just kidding. It's called espresso. I don't know where people get this idea. Oh, he's sneezing, so he did cocaine. Spurgs have allergy, dude. It's like the oldest trope in the book. Spurgs are not doing cocaine. I tried cocaine one time like 10 years ago. And I didn't know that it was, what do they call it, packed with baby powder or whatever. So I was sniffing baby powder and coca. And I remember dancing for 30 minutes and having the worst headache ever in my life for 4 hours. So that is my experience with the coca. Or as some in the drug community call it, blow. With your fancy drug slang, as you kids utilize. Call me John Depp, because I'm all up on that blow. Just kidding. Let's go there. I'm in a damn Creed mood. You know, so I've been talking about Creed a lot lately. And I don't just mean the Nicene Creed. I mean Creed. And then Creed is popping up. We're not here to talk about Creed tonight, though. But I don't know why I just saw this and I vibed with it, as the kids say. I vibed with the Creed. And this video made me happy, so I'm going to share it with you guys.
What's up?
What's up?
Stapp. What's up? This is Scott Stapp.
Got the Stapp in the house.
What's up? I'm Scott Stapp.
Here is the 2001.
I got that damn Scott Stapp infection. I got a Stapp infection.
Hit single, My Sacrifice. Take it away.
My sacrifice!
Total gangster. Here all night.
Yeah.
Always. Your best bet for heating stuff up. That's what I'm seeing on the streets.
Oh,
Usher. Life is
Usher, let's Usher. Yeah.
Scott, thanks for being
Let's go there.
this summer's rock and roll savior.
Yeah.
Such a mainstay on the bus as any Kevin Hart stand-up comedy.
Oh shit. Pat Williams. Me higher.
These ice drinks, I love them.
Sparkling ice, vitamin water.
Dynasty. What's up, Dynasty boys?
Things were coming out of my body.
Yeah.
Man, ooh, there's still a little sap in here.
Oh, shit. Scott's dad looks like a drugged out, a washed out American Indian, Native American. What universe are we in? Let's go there to see share vitamin water and Cat Williams. Will you catch my Williams? We're doing abstract jokes tonight. I don't even know, but this popped up and I was like, this is beautiful. It makes no sense, but it's beautiful. That's how we roll up in this place. And reminder, tomorrow we'll be on Lord Voldemort's 4th hour, and we should have with us Sam Tripoli. So comedian Sam Tripoli, dude will be joining us tomorrow. We'll be talking about current events, news, the event, as we're talking about tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's 4th hour Lord Voldemort, as you guys know. Every Friday. I forgot to put my damn links in here. Can you take me higher to a place with free cocaine? Yeah, yeah. I'm a Panamanian drug lord. That was going to be my aesthetic. I was either going to go with Miami Vice or a Panamanian drug lord with a Panama Jack hat. But I tried to grow my fingernail out, to poke the cocaine and to do it like this. And you gotta have a long fingernail to be a Panamanian drug lord. You gotta just not cut those bitches and let them grow. And I said, nah, I gotta cut my toenails. What if you had a toenail that you popped the cocaine bags with and you sniffed it out of your toenail? What do you think of that? You'd just be a weird drug lord, wouldn't you? Can you take me higher to a new plateau of cocaine buzz? Yeah. That's nasty. He showed his feet, dude. Remember when Rachel was talking about showing her feet, and then that turns out that's a thing on the internet? Well, I didn't know everybody on the internet was Quentin Tarantino. How am I supposed to know what weird creeper stuff people are? Quentin Tarantino.
I'm shutting your butt down, okay? This is me shutting your butt down.
I gotta remember to do my Quentin Tarantino impression at the live events. I totally forgot about it. No, I didn't. I did include him last time. Is it time to get on with it? Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The chat's getting nasty. It's getting hot in here. Take off one layer of clothes. Don't talk about feet. That'll turn people on. Dude, you shouldn't be turned on by a foot anyway. That's gross. Feet are for walking, dude. Literally nothing to do with sex. I mean, what even makes it sexy? I'm serious. This thing is dumb. It's weird. It's like a weird Japanese thing or something, right? Because they would wrap up the Japanese princess's feet so she couldn't walk, and they bind them up. You know what I mean? Are feet ticklish? Is that why? Well, armpits are ticklish. Does that turn you on too? Well, for some weirdos, probably. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, tickle me, baby. Ooh. What's up? Yeah, I'll show you my feet. I don't care. It's not my fault that my feet turn you on. That's your problem. And you need to check into a clinic. Why are you checking into the clinic? I got a Stapp infection. All right, if you guys would remember, you can. I had to go get my super chat links here. You can support the show via the super chat function, which is on Streamlabs right there. It's all Quentin Tarantino jokes in the chat right now. After you mention a foot, it's all Quentin Tarantino jokes. What do you think? What does Quentin Tarantino get in his stocking at Christmas? A foot? I mean, right. Anyway.
Santa, I'm shutting your butt down. You didn't put an actual foot into my stocking this Christmas, Santa.
I like that. Quentin Tarantino's got that lisp that doesn't exactly sound homoerotic, but it's a little bit of a lisp. It's like, but he's got mad coke energy too. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, like and share it. Let's get into it. The event. Why am I talking about the event? Well, turns out the news. Tristana showed me yesterday. She shared this with me yesterday. PSYOP season incoming. Breaking intelligence. Chairman Mike Turner says all members of Congress have been alerted to a serious national security threat. He is requesting that Bobo declassify all the information relating to this threat so that Congress, the admin, and our allies can openly discuss the actions necessary to respond to the threat. Do you like my new nickname for Biden, Bobo? By the way, I think we all have come to the realization that Corn Pot was right all along. Corn Pot was trying to warn us a long time ago. And we all fell for the psyop that Corn Pot was a bad dude because of Joe Biden telling that dumbass story. No, Corn Pot was an American hero. And shout out to Bobo24. Bobo24. I'm going to become an accelerationist and vote for Bobo just to start over the whole system anew. I'm just joking, by the way. You can support the stream via super chat function right there. Now, we have been talking for so long this year, the last several live streams going back like 6 months, maybe 8 months, right? We've been talking about the coming event, the thing they're going to roll out, which we don't know what that is. We know that it's essentially a hand, a playing card hand that they can throw down whichever thing they want to throw down. If we remember going back many years into the Dawn period, we had our friend Anthony.
Trump will face something he's never faced before. He's gonna face a challenge. A medical challenge he's never faced before. Put your mask on.
Right, remember the predictions of Tony? And yet, what happened? It rolled out. So they utilized that card in their hand, in the deck. They got a fat deck over on the Illuminati playing card side, and they threw that one down. So, the question is, what will they roll out next? Well, we've thrown down different possibilities in the last few weeks and in the last several live streams that we've covered on the coming event. I even dug up that old TV show from 12 years ago, which nobody else remembers. I remembered it. Remember the event? And I remember it because the promos that they ran when it came out in 2011, they rolled out promos where a giant, like 747, is crashing into a very Obama-esque president's Miami event. And then the plane, boop, right, warps out of here Mario style. It just boop, it's gone. And then it turns out stuff's hitting the fan, right, throughout the whole first few episodes, because I went and watched it. And what do you know? It turns out we have had alien visitors here. And there's a faction of the aliens, classic X-Files plot, that's pro-human and a faction that's anti-human. The anti-human faction wants to depopulate on a mass scale. Now, let's go over here to the event. This was the event, if you don't remember. Had this chick from, what's it called? Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend in Disturbia. Remember her? Remember Shia LaBeouf was creeping and perving on his next door neighbor chick, this girl. Looking out the window, recording her, just being a creep. So I creep, yeah, like Shia does to his neighbor. What's the rest of the creep lyrics, Jamie? I don't even know. Jamie knows all those 90s R&B songs. She can sing all that stuff. He don't know what I do. That didn't make any sense, though, because that's like a girl singing. This would be Shia singing the girl's lyrics.
So I creep, yeah, and I look over at my neighbor. So I fap, yeah.
Shia LaBeouf over there staring at it. Anyway, if you remember, that was basically a movie that was just Rear Window remade into Shia LaBeouf, basically. Wasn't a bad movie. It was all right. And he eventually got the chick. So his nerd game played off in the end because they had to basically beat a serial killer. But in this situation, this girl is the lead guy's fiance. I'm not going to go into the details of this show, but it only went, I think, for 1 or 2 seasons. But the main point of all this is just simply that the plot ends up being that the aliens, the fake and Gralians, their whole job is to depop. And they reveal this at the end. So, spoiler alert, I just ruined the entire show for you. They want to kill everybody. Right? Everybody. Just get rid of the humans. Just pop, pop, pop. Depop. Pop, pop. Depop, pop. By the way, where's the supporters at? We got to have some, we need some super chats to keep this stuff going tonight. Now, isn't it interesting that we've been hearing all this talk of the event? Now, again, I'm not being schizo level here saying that this TV show is predicting what would happen in 2024. No. But the programming, the propaganda is very similar and always gets recycled. That's the point I'm trying to make. And this show was all about alien disclosure. It was about the intelligence agencies being split down the middle between the pro-alien depopulation faction and the pro-human faction. They even included this goofy story of the plane disappearing in the middle of nowhere, which is the now conspiracy theory that's prevalent about the MH3, the Malaysian Airlines, right? Now people are saying, oh, the Malaysian Airlines, if you look at this grainy video, the orbs fly around it and it teleports. So the aliens have given AmGov teleportation technology, blah, blah, all this nonsense. Anyway, look, they've been pushing the alien stuff so much that I think we do have to include the alien scenario in our thesis. And if you want to support the show, please do. You can through Streamlabs. Streamlabs is a link in the chat right there. That is how you do super chats over here on my channel. So click that link and I will read your comment. We do have a couple super chats from the last time that I didn't get to, so I'll get to those here in a second. But anyway, that was the event. I just thought it was fascinating that the whole show revolves around fake flag events, staged plane crash deaths is a big part of the second and third episode. Sounds like other events that might have interesting, big 9 type events. Interesting. So that's that. I think that, and this show wasn't that big, right? It was only 1 season, but I think that they could utilize the narrative of the aliens, the fake and Gralians, right? But that one is pretty iffy because it doesn't look like people are really going for the alien stuff. I mean, you do have a rise in public polls about whether people believe in aliens. At least that people are saying, yeah, okay, there's aliens, there's life out there. But the Goresh stuff and all the gibberish that they're pushing with the congressional hearings and the disclosure, it doesn't seem to have really done a whole lot. I mean, all we've really gotten is more grainy videos, government goobers claiming the exact same narrative of Roswell, right? But just updated and repackaged. And people just seem to they're not really caring about it. So I don't know that they're going to roll this one. This one is a little too iffy, is my view. They could do it, though. They might roll out, faking Gralians as the big 2024. More likely than that, though, I think, is some scenario related to, where is this article here? Let's go over here. This stuff. Let's switch over to this. No, to this. Right, you've got this story. I don't want to spend too much time. You know why. Talking about House Intel, and they're claiming this. No, not that. You saw it, right? I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that on this channel, so we will not do that. But you know what I mean by that outlet. We're talking about Lord Voldemort here, right? What we're saying is now it's going to be Russia, perhaps China and Russia together, engaged in some kind of activity that culminates in displacing the 2024 election, some sort of national crisis scenario. So let's go back to Tristan's thing here. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Turner statement: we have a serious national security threat. Now, why didn't they just say what it is? Well, that's because they want everybody to just be anxious and scared, obviously. But it issued the following statement today: the House Permanent Select Committee on Intel. Ooh, the Intel, right? Is this the same Intel with P-Gate and Steele dossier? Is that the brilliant Intel we're talking about here? I am requesting that President Bobo declassify all information regarding this threat to Congress. Ooh, see, he's standing up for the people. Exactly. And also, by the way, it came out as Stone is covering there in his live stream that the CIA was also busted for spying on the Don. Of course, we already knew all of this, but it's like this stuff comes out and then keeps coming out and comes out. Right? Like all this gay information coming out of the closet on a daily basis. And then it gets reconfirmed again and again and again. But, yeah. So what is this event? Now everybody's speculating what the big event is. They want us to be speculating and afraid is really the essence of this. So, it's going to be an EMP. It's going to be an EMP. Look, I first heard about the threat of the EMP from the Patriot crowd back in 2005 or 6. And I remember writing an article at the time when I first heard about and learned about what an EMP was. And I was like, oh, that's GoldenEye, dude. That's James Bond, Pierce Brosnan, James Bond, GoldenEye. That's what an EMP is. So I went and rewatched GoldenEye. And yeah, it's like, okay, there's this theoretical technology that can shut down all electrical devices when it goes off. Okay, I don't doubt that exists. But you understand that there's no single EMP blast, I don't believe, that's able to shut down the entire country's electrical grid. There would have to be like tons of EMP devices going off everywhere for the entire country's electricity to go down or something. So now, yeah, with a lot of like inside moles, I guess, like we saw in Obama's movie, Leave the World Behind, right? Maybe in that kind of scenario where you have a bunch of moles in the government or something that are bad guys. Okay, yeah, sure, that could happen, I guess. You could have the assistance of moles from inside. I guess any of that's possible, especially with the door being open down by Lord Voldemort. Lord Voldemort's back door is open. I don't mean that in a nasty sex way. You know what I mean? The Texas door with a lot of Latin and South American friends coming up. Tristan been sending a lot of our friends from down there up here. If you know what I mean. I think Tristan's actually the mastermind behind all this. He's the one that's down there masterminding all of our Cholo bros crossing the border. Make a run for the border. Make a run for the border. Was that an ad for Taco Bell or was that an ad for On the Border fake Mexican restaurant? Remember Make a Run for the Border? Tristan's down there telling all his Cholo gang buddies, make a run for the border, dude. It's Tristan's fault. Anyway, so will the establishment go full bore and attempt to completely collapse things? Well, again, I don't think they're going to go that far. I think it's really hard to bring down this entire country. They're doing very well, though. And it's a full-on assault through moral corruption, through economic corruption, chaos, collapse, inflation, Bidenomics, Bobonomics. What else? Open broaders, open broaders. I'm trying to get creative with, lingo. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? So it makes sense if the plan is to essentially, I don't want to say bring down, but reorganize the United States into, what did Klaus's video say from 2016? Remember that? The 8 things to expect by 2030. And one of them was that the United States would not be the world leader. It would be moved down in the rungs to a second or third world country, I guess. Something like that. So I think that's what they're looking for. I don't think they're looking to completely destroy the United States. But we're going to look at a few quotes from old Bertrand Russell here in a minute, because I was reminded when we saw this week that there's a push to ban literature, including Orwell, Lord of the Rings. Mr. Frodo, they're going to ban us, Mr. Frodo. Sam! They're banning the Hobbits in Isengard. They're going to ban the Hobbits, bro. It's getting bad out here. So they're going to ban Bilbo and Frodo and Legolas. They're going to ban George Orwell. And one of the lists was so stupid, they even included Huxley's Brave New World in the list of the things they want to ban, which is like, don't you realize that he's on your team? But I think the people compiling these lists are so stupid that no, they don't even know that. So, so they just think that any of the literature that talks about a dystopia is now dangerous and triggering because it radicalizes people to become radicals. And now what's considered radical is the classical liberal positions of 10 years ago. I mean, it's getting that crazy. Literally, classical liberalism is now classed as extreme right, which is so crazy, but that's where we are. So I can say that I'm not even on the spectrum anymore. My views are so fringe, I'm not even on the spectrum. Except the autism spectrum. I'm on that spectrum. What's your political spectrum? Autism. What's your politics? Autism. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Spurg Lord 5000s in the audience. That's my audience. Pop. We got the highest IQ audience out there. Guys, remember, please, you got to get tickets to our show, dude. How could you not want to go hang out with me and Jamie Kennedy and Jamie and all of our other California bro friends? Now, last time we had at our LA event a bunch of InfoWars people, and it was a blast. So I'd say we had 70% InfoWars audience, 30% Orthodox audience. And most of my events in last year were like 70% Orthodox, 30% InfoWars audience. And then in LA, for whatever reason, it was kind of flipped. So, look, I want y'all to come out. If you're in the California, freaking Utah, Mormon goober crowd, I want my Mormon goobers driving down to the LA event. Okay, if you are in Las Vegas, okay, Vince Vaughn drove from LA to Vegas in that one movie overnight, so y'all can do it. If Vince Vaughn can do it in Swingers, you can do it. Right? And he took his boy as his wingman to Vegas. Grab your wingman if you're in Vegas and drive to LA. Just flip the script. And no, Swingers is not a dirty movie. It's just like Vince Vaughn's big break. It's a pretty good classic, indie comedy movie. And by the way, his bro, right? has no game. So the whole movie is just a classic teaching his bro to learn some game type of move. And we're not talking mystery method / we're not talking Frank T.J. Mackey. Okay, we're talking classical, traditional Vince Vaughn game. Okay. Frank T.J. Mackey, that's okay. No. We want the traditional game that Vince Vaughn ran in Swingers. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about showing up to every party and saying, "This place is dead, man," and then leaving as soon as you get there. Yeah, shout out to Vince Vaughn. By the way, Triple E said that his first comedy tour was Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn took him, I think, and all of his comedy bros at that time on a tour. So, thank you, man. Yeah, it would be nice to have a larger audience, and that's what we're trying to do. So I appreciate those compliments there, guys. Just remember that, again, the live shows are a lot of fun. At our live shows, we're not talking, you know, an hour of stupid crap and, you know, a guy getting up there and doing a 20-minute speaking spot. No. I give an hour lecture plus. Jamie gives an hour lecture plus. I do a lot of impressions, which I don't know if you've heard, but I can kind of do them all right. And then you get Jamie Kennedy doing stand-up, and then you get Q&A, and you get to hang out. It's literally like a smart person's party. And you can bring beer or whatever. If you're into the beer, bring your beer, dude. I don't care. BYOB. Bring your own box wine. BYOBW. Biabwa. Bring your own box wine. Bring your own Franzia. BYOF. Bring your Virginia Slims and your Franzia. Bring your single mom date. Bring your single wine mom date. Bring your date is the point, so we can sell the tickets, bro. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows who's been. Melissa, shout out to Melissa in the chat. She's been to a live event. She's been to maybe 2 of them. And she's like, these are the live events. They're legit. Too legit. Too quit. Hey. You can bring beer. You can bring a tub of Franzia if you want to. If you're a committed wine mom who wants to do slam poetry. Anyway, get the tickets to our live event right there at the Eventbrite link. All right, let's get into the elites. What have they been up to? Well, we had another meeting this week, not just Davos a couple weeks ago, which we covered. We have a new event, and it's the same BFFs as Davos, except World Government Summit seems to have a little more of like a Arab twist. It's got a little bit of an Arab flavor to it. It's got a little bit of a kebab flavor to it.
Are you ready for a new world order?
Are you ready for a new world order? That sounded like the intro to a wrestling event. Are you ready to rumble?
Well, am I ready for an unelected global communist regime that's going to rule over the people of Earth? Absolutely not. And aside...
Oh, he owned them. Actually, that is kind of cool that he said that. However, the people that go and then try to own the world government people, do they really have a solution? It's like they just go to kind of have a little clip of them saying, I ain't going to be ruled over by zillionaires. By the way, what's up, zillionaires? Peace, shout out, right? They're there hanging out with the zillionaires, being like, oh, I'm not going to be rolled over by zillionaires. Clip that, by the way.
from a bunch of power-hungry psychopaths in this room, I don't think anyone else is. But what I am ready for is for...
Oh! Who is this? Who is this, bro? Damon. All right. He's giving a little heat there. I like that.
for all of y'all to go fuck yourselves.
Oh, that's fake. That's a fake. That ain't real. Ha 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 ha. I thought that was real for like 2 seconds. Damn it. So I guess Tucker went to give some pushback. Now we saw Tedros was at the other one saying, get ready for disease X part 2. right? Or Disease X is part 2 of Koof, right? So let's see what he was saying.
We do not know where and when the next global pandemic will occur, but we do know that it will take a terrible toll, that a devastating epidemic can start in any country at any time and kill millions of people because we're not prepared.
The outbreak of a mystery virus in China.
So, looks like Tedros is pushing the old, look, we're going to have to deal with the next Koof. So that was my prediction. It's looking like Koof. That we're all kind of just watching, right? Ready, we're on the edge to see what they're going to drop next. And everybody knows they're going to drop something. What's it going to be? Well, we're all kind of expecting Koof Part 2. So does that mean that Koof Part 2 won't be a surprise and they'll drop an economic collapse or war, right? It looks like with this intel thing that they're talking about a new or a national threat, which would suggest war, right? Something to do with Russia, probably.
I would like to show you what kinds of insights are now possible with these kinds of systems. For the first time, perhaps in human history, we can actually see human thought in real time. Here you're seeing an image of a portion of the brain surface covered by an electrode array containing 1,024 tiny electrodes. The voltage on each electrode is rendered in a color that corresponds to the amplitude of the voltage. The precision cortical interface provides this information in real time, but here I've slowed it down because electrical signals propagate over the brain surface on time scales that are much faster than even the refresh rate of a conventional screen. The electrodes here are 50 microns in diameter, and they're separated by...
Well, I can already tell you that this man has never, ever been with a woman. And that's a danger thing. That's dangerous because people that are ruling us, if they've never been with a woman, then we're going to be ruled over by the nerds. And as Isaac says, the nerds are going to kill us all, right? And what this means is that basically in the 1980s movies, when the bullies were ganging up on the nerds and we were taught through the propaganda to side with the nerds, we were being psyoped. We should have sided with the bullies from high school all along. We bought into the nerd psyop and we sided against the bullies when we should have been on the side of the bullies, because the jocks were always beating up the nerds and giving them swirlies and giving them wedgies to make a point to tell them that you're a danger and a threat to society as a nerd. And if we ever fell into a nerd world order, NWO, the nerds would kill us all. And Gil Bates, classic example. I gotta get the numbers down. Was she here with the CO2 numbers? If we get these numbers down, then namely with population, we can do a good job. We should have sided with the bullies all along, dude. We got psyoped.
400 thousandths of a millimeter. These patterns of electrical activity are the physical manifestations of thought. And so you were watching thought...
Okay, anyway, I'm not playing that nerd's whole clip, but you get the idea. fMRI type technology. This actually has been around, though, so I don't know why he's presenting this at the World Government Forum. Maybe they made advances in it and it's better, but... I mean, they were talking about being able to read thoughts through fMRI like 10 years ago. So I guess that's right. I guess they want to take that somewhere. All right, what's Klaus been up to? All right, what's our buddy Klaus? No, we hadn't checked in on Klaus in a while because we did a live stream maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we checked in on Klaus's daughter. We found out Klaus got a hot daughter. Woo! Flaming hot babe daughter. We checked in on her. Had to warn Jamie because sometimes you get tempted. You know what I mean? We all get tempted. I'm sorry. I had to apologize to Jamie because I didn't realize Klaus had a daughter, and she looks like Klaus with long hair. So So it was a tough time around here. Well, we had a big fight. Me and Jamie had to apologize. I had to repent in sackcloth and ashes for my dirty thoughts. I'm just kidding. This is all a joke, by the way. It's just a joke. Klaus's daughter looks like Klaus with long hair. So, what was Klaus? So Klaus just talked. He just yapped a couple days ago at the World Government Summit. And let's see what he was telling us. What's going on?
We are speaking not just about the fourth industrial revolution. We are speaking about the transition of humankind into a new era, which is not just characterized by technological change. A new era where humankind will enjoy many more opportunities and possibilities. It's a transition. It's a transition from the first healthy.
How has his English never gotten better? I mean, he's got to be like 70, right? And all of these years of speaking English, and it's never gotten even slightly better. If you watch the old Klaus clips. So it's almost like he's playing a character. It's like maybe they even told him, you know what? Just don't even make your English voice better. Just stay with the Bond villain routine because it's kind of cool. I'm not saying it's actually cool. I'm saying that that's what his handlers told him. Ivan Estrada. Sounds like Eric Estrada. Sounds like Chips. Hey, I was wondering how I could call into your live streams. Well, when we do an open forum live stream, you call in through Twitter. So basically, I open up Twitter to people who want to typically debate, but it's not always a debate. You can call in and ask questions at times too. And that is done through the Twitter app. I think you can now do it on your desktop as well. So you just pop into the live stream and you request to speak. So that's how you call in, Mrs. Estrada. I'm new to your channel. I do not find a schedule. That's because everything around here is kind of like random improv, bro. We don't do schedules. We just do it randomly. So you got to follow me and keep up. And when you see me hop on, you just hop in. That's it. So I've never really scheduled my live streams, although I am moving more and more in that direction. I'm thinking I might have to just unmute. Am I unmuted? Oh, y'all are making the joke. Unmute. I might have to just do a nightly live stream. I might transition to that model. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the random just live stream when I feel like it, or do you like a nightly live stream? By the way, thank you guys for those super chats. We got a few there. If you want to support the show, you do so via the Streamlabs link right here. And we'll be looking at some more clips from Klaus and Company. We're going to be looking at a little bit of what I talked about with Tuck and Vlad. Tuck and Vlad. That sounds like an indie band, right? Like Iron and Wine, Iron Wine. Tuck and Vlad. No, Tuck and Vlad sounds like a 90s comedy duo, right? And they play guitar and they sing stupid songs back and forth, right? Like Flight of the Conchords, but not funny. Oh, you see Tuck and Vlad? This is so funny, dude. Tuck and Vlad was a very important interview. So I went pretty deep. I live streamed and commented on the entire thing in a 4-hour epic stream. And that was on Rockfin because, of course, I assumed that it wouldn't be allowed over here. So Avon says, you sent me your email. So I appreciate the super chat, but the way to find out when I'm going to live stream and when you're able to pop in is to turn on your notifications on YouTube. And that's a message to all you guys in the audience too, because a lot of people say, hey, I never know when you're going live on a live stream. Well, that's why you have to turn on notifications as well. So remember that in YouTube, it's not just enough to subscribe to the channel. You also have to turn on notifications. If you don't turn on notifications, you'll never get notified when I go live. If notifications are on, you will get an immediate notification J. Dyer is live. That means you can pop on over here, pop, and get in on the action. So remember to turn on the notifications or else you won't hear. Kristen, $5. Shout out to Kristen. Did you see that Paul Joseph Watson interviewed Father Spiridon? I know that they had talked about doing an interview a year ago, and I knew that PJW was going to eventually do that, but I didn't know if they'd actually done it yet. But that's cool to see that. Let me promote that because I'm guessing that's on his channel. Let's see if that's up. But that's great to see Father Spiridon and I did that wrong. Paul Watson UFO. That's great to see him promoting. So I think is it this? Yeah, here it is.
Auto ship from Chewy.
So this is good for Father Spiridon is row court in the UK, of course. So great to see this interview going down right here. So I'll link this to everybody in the chat. So be sure and check out Father Spiridon with Paul Joseph Watson right there. Very cool. And this was the year ago interview. So is there a new one or are you talking about the old interview? Michelle sends $5, says, super duper. This is my very first super chat. Thank you for your content. Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate that because that helps support the streams and support what we do over here. So be sure and watch that interview if you want to check that out. All right, let's get back to Klaus. Klaus is saying that we're transitioning into the fourth industrial revolution. I mean, he doesn't even, like, all these people just like read off teleprompters and just say the same crap every time, every year. They don't even say anything new. It's like, it's a fourth industrial revolution. Yeah, I've been saying the same line for like 10 years, dude.
The transition about 100 years ago from the agricultural society to the industrial society. But today, we speak about the transition into what I would call the intelligent age. We are speaking not just about the fourth industrial revolution. We are speaking about the transition of humankind into a new era.
All right, so there's Klaus repeating his old hack routine. It's like a comedian with a hack routine, right? Klaus is like women comedians that are still talking about vaginas, chocolate, periods, boyfriends, and that was that it? Were they talking about anything? Is there anything else they talk about? Let's see what Tucker's talking about here.
I think that the current administration is very obviously incompetent, and the president is senile. That's not an attack. Everyone knows it. It has now been confirmed, I would say, this week in the report that you're all familiar with. But and that's very sad. But it had sort of nothing to do with the interview. I wanted to interview Putin because he's the leader of a country that the U.S. government is sort of at war with.
All right. Well, yeah. Say Bobo's out of it. Bobo's out to lunch.
He's not going to become more open to negotiation the longer this goes on. One of the things we've learned in the course of the last 2 years is that Russia's industrial capacity is a lot more profound than we thought it was. I mean, Russia's having an eat Russia. This country we were assured was a gas station with nuclear weapons.
Okay. That was. Now, again, remember, if you're interested in my full breakdown, and I didn't just, like, talk about nonsense when I broke it down. I did a 4.5-hour live stream where I actually got into all of the geopolitical background to the PSYOPs, the false flags, color revolutions, the sniping events that kicked off the Maidan coup. All of that is dealt with right here in my Rockfin 4.5-hour live stream, which is available to subscribers. So remember, on Rockfin, you get access not just to me, if you subscribe, but all the content creators. So they have a unique model on Rockfin where it's like Netflix. You do the paid subscription, you get access to everybody's paid content. You can also do super chats on Rockfin as well. But I think my breakdown there was pretty much top tier. I mean, I went really deep. I focused on sourcing everything, going back to a lot of old global research articles, which are classic, that you have to know about. I mean, we've been covering Maidan coup and all this back to 2014. I first interviewed Mark Hackard on that stuff back in 2014. So that's 10 years ago that I was covering and talking about this topic. And the reason this matters is that VP, right, Vlad, basically agreed with everything that I've claimed. So all of the analyses that I've had and all the stuff I've said about, you know, Nerd Stream Pipeline, all that stuff was vindicated. So if you want my full breakdown, subscribe there. It's also available to website subscribers too. So let's see, what else? Let's get back to Klaus. And Klaus is over here talking to Mohammed somebody. And this looks like a more relevant clip here. So let's hear what Klaus is saying here.
Shape the society and the economy of future civilization.
When I explained some years ago the fourth industrial revolution, I think there are three particular aspects. It's first the speed. We are now in the exponential phase. And just as an example, the internet is now about 30 years old. The social media about 20, 25 years old. We will see, and how much have they changed our lives? We will see the same amount of change, the same speed of change in the next 10 years. So it's a compression, time compression of change. That's the first one. The second one is, when we talked about the first industrial revolution, we had, of course, the steam engine, we had electricity, but now we have a multitude of technologies, all working together to a certain extent in combination. Just think of the power of the combination of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and big data. So it's a combination of the different technologies.
And what? Big tater? What did he say? Big data. I thought he said big tater. Right? You got small potatoes, you got big potatoes. Klaus is interested in big potato, which is what? Amy Schumer. Did everybody see Amy Schumer this week looking like the big potato? That's what Klaus is talking about. He's talking about the new, he didn't say big data. He said big tater. Big tater. The big tater. So see the big potato. And yes, there is the big potato. The big tater. There's dictators, there's potatoes, and there is the big potato.
Intelligence, quantum computing, and big data. So it's a combination of the different technologies which really bring.
It's big tater. He's talking about it. Amy Schumer is the whore of Babylon. It's the big tater.
It's a fundamental change.
People are like, stop laughing at your own jokes. I'm not laughing at my own joke. I'm laughing at Klaus's joke. He called Amy Schumer big tater.
And finally, I think we have to be prepared for a world where we see a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological.
Was Klaus drunk before the summit meeting? Like, Klaus is over there sipping on the Franzia with the wine moms at the World Government Center. It was a biological. Seriously, how is this guy's English no better after like 20 years of doing these teleprompter reading speeches?
Fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological.
Yeah, so because technology advances, we must be going into a fusion of transhumanism. It must be. It's a biological. He sounds like a dog, like a drunk dog.
Dimensions. So it will be a world digital and our biological dimensions. So it will be a world integrating the physical, biological, and the digital dimensions.
Yeah, so, you already said that. Good job. So the merging of the physical body with the digital tech. Thank you, Klaus, for repeating everything that you always say in every single interview for many, many years. So Alex has a longer clip here of Tuck talking about world government and using the U.S. as a power of evil. Tedros did the hard sell at the world government, talking about, the CUF-demic agreement. So this is trying to get all the countries to sign off their individual sovereignty to the UN and the World Health Organization as the arbiters of what goes down. So here, I guess so he basically went back and said the same thing as he said. These people are lazy, dude. They're worse than hack comedians, right? Because they just repeat the same line. This is exactly what he said at Davos. He's just saying the same stuff.
We learn are in danger of being forgotten as attention turns to many other crises confronting our world. But if we fail to learn those lessons, we will pay dearly next time. And there will be a next time. History teaches us that the next pandemic is a matter of when, not if. It may be caused by an influenza virus or a new coronavirus, or it may be caused by a new pathogen we don't even know about yet.
So exact same thing as what he said at Davos. Exactly. Let's see. We got another clip of Klaus. Here's Klaus talking about genetic engineering. He just repeats the same thing. Like Klaus's bits are like he's got a tight 10 that he just repeats. Not even a tight 10 of like a stand-up. He just repeats the tight 5 of like the same talking points from 20 years ago.
And I asked ChatGPT, summarize the text and tell me now, based on our discussion, how will the new era, the intelligent era, look like? And I read you the text. Envisioning a future propelled by the technologies of the fourth.
Klaus is so lazy, he reads ChatGPT summaries. This is a new level of lazy, dude. So speeches now are just going to be people asking ChatGPT for like 3 paragraphs, and then they just this is like basically we're going to be in super duper lazy land. But let me put it this way: if you want to be a ruler of the future, like literally, you can be Luke Wilson in Idiocracy, right? All you got to do is just continue to read a few books here and there, and you will be the genius of the future, because this will be like the calculator. How people can't do math now because of calculators, right? So now ChatGPT will summarize everything, and nobody will know anything except the summary paragraphs of ChatGPT, and everybody will be super lazy and never reading or writing anything of any substance. It's all going to be this stupid summarized ChatGPT crap.
Industrial revolution, we see a new dawn of human civilization, one that harmonizes technology with the deepest needs and aspirations of humanity. This vision unfolds.
Did you notice that? The deepest needs will be answered by technology. This is what Noah Yuval Harari said when he said that you won't have a Bible. You'll have a new kind of God thing that you ask your questions to, which will be an AI, and it will be like the Deus Ex Machina, the God from within. And it will be kind of be your God figure thing. Your God thing. Isn't that what Bobo called it? Remember he said, with the thing, right? When Biden called God the thing, like The Thing, John Carpenter movie, The Thing. Right? Maybe to Biden, that's who God is the creature in the thing, right? John Carpenter's The Thing. Maybe that is his God, but Klaus is basically just saying that all of your hopes and dreams will be answered by AI, which is crazy. So they want to really tool this thing into being the God from within, the God of the future.
In a society where artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of the Things, 3D printing, genetic engineering, quantum computing become the foundation.
The Internet of the Things. The Internet of the Things.
Of our daily life. Yet are guided by a profound respect for human values, creativity.
Yeah. Well, that's nice that they're going to respect values, human values. Yeah, sure. Who believes that? Conspiracy theorists believe there's an organized drive to get rid of nation states and create a one world government. It's ridiculous nonsense. Oh, wait a minute. There's a world government summit happening.
Keep in our mind.
Bring the rest of the world together.
نحتاج دائما كحكومات إلى وقفة سنوية لترتيب أولوياتنا.
When we look at the infrastructures for tomorrow, it's not just access which we have to keep in our mind when we design those infrastructures.
What they would need to do now is bring the rest of the world with you.
We need to organize, to be together.
To work together to keep themselves and each other safe.
We've worked on really supporting the industry since before COVID.
What should they learn?
So, as you can see, by the way, that's a very Muslim-heavy meeting there. And the reason for that, I think, is because Islam is a very important puzzle piece, a very important chess piece for the global elite, for what they're planning. I think Islam is a very powerful tool, particularly for the global elite, in many ways and many factors, to push the NWO, the Nerd World Order. By the way, reminder that Saturday night is the debate with Jake, Trinity versus Tawhid, so be sure and tune into that for the next Islamic debate, which has been in the works for a long time, so look for that. So they got the Chat GPT dude to come on World Government Summit and talk about how it's getting smarter. It's by the way, it's not getting smarter in a literal sense, but people actually believe, because they speak of it as if it's given these anthropomorphic qualities, that it is therefore a mind. It's like a computer. Like, if you talk about it being intelligent, then like it's gonna be a mind, dude. Well, the same people who say this, by the way, don't believe that minds exist. So you're talking about materialists utilizing anthropomorphic language to talk about a mind as if it exists as a thinking subject when they don't believe in thinking subjects. So it's all a lot of deception. It's just a machine, dude. It's just an algorithm. That's it. You can put more nerd code into it. The more nerd code you stuff into the computer, it will never become an actual living nerd. It will not be a person. Do you understand that? All right, so a lot of Tucker clips. Let's see, what's our Fabian socialist Tony Blair talking about? Will technology transform our nation states into what? A world government? Is that what he's talking about here? Something beyond nation states? Let's see what he says.
Technology revolution. And
now remember, Sir Tony Blair, he's knighted as royalty, or as nobility. You get to be knighted as nobility means you're like the worst person. There's actually an award of worstness for human beings. Like, the best at human garbage gets the Sir Award or Madam Award. So let's see what Tony Blair, again, famous Fabian socialist, publicly. Let's see what he's arguing for at the World Government Summit.
We're living through this extraordinary technology revolution. And in my judgment, and the judgment of my institute, which now works in many different countries throughout the world, this technology revolution gives us the opportunity to do something that is not been conceived of for many, many years. And that is to reimagine the state itself. Because a 19th century state was a minimalist state. Didn't do a lot for people, didn't raise a lot of money, didn't spend a lot of money, didn't do a lot for people. The 20th century state grew into this huge apparatus, especially in developed nations, with large amounts of money spent, a large amount of provision from government, but today, often not operating in a very effective way. The question for this century is, can you reimagine the state through the technology revolution, create a 21st century state that delivers high quality services at much lower costs to their citizens?
So, technocratic state. So the state will be reorganized to be the technocratic super state. So everything that I've told you about what the Fabian socialists believe in, what they want, the police state, the Brave New World state, and there you have famous Fabian socialist Tony Blair saying, yes, a technological, technocratic superstate. Exactly. But remember, there is no such thing as a push for a universal, global, technocratic superstate. And they don't make these claims at world government meetings because that doesn't exist. And if you disagree with it, you're a bigot because it's a good thing. Remember. That's a perfect segue to this, which is our buddy Lord Bertie. Bertie! Lord Bertie? What were you speaking of, Lord Bertie? Lord Bertie? What was Lord Bertie talking about? I'm talking about, of course, Lord Bertrand Russell. In his book, which we lectured on almost 6 or 7 years ago. So again, you guys understand that we've lectured through these texts. I think this will be a better way to do this. Yeah, like this. Yeah. There's just one thing I want to say. Yeah. Copy. Lord Bertrand Russell's Scientific Outlook from this one is the 31 text. So this one is actually earlier than Impact of Science on Society. Right? Remember this? What does he say? Fabian socialist technocrat Lord Bertrand Russell. Same ideology as Tony Blair, which you just saw there. Almost 100 years ago. Shakespeare and classical literature will be banned. Gladiatorial, bread and circuses, Hunger Games style, will rule over a drugged, lobotomized population by the design of a scientific technocratic elite. Yo, prison camps, they're going to be lit, dog. We're going to have some killer cookouts at the prison camp. See you there, bro. He says that economic motives will be employed to regulate the population, CBDC. It will probably be kept stationary, meaning that you won't get more or less. The economy will just be these units that are doled out to you. He says this in other books as well. All that is tragic in human life will be eliminated, so it will be a safe, secure existence. Death will seldom come before old age. Whether men will be happy in this paradise, I do not know. Biochemistry perhaps will show us how to make man happy, provided that the necessities of life, perhaps dangerous sports, will even be organized for those whom boredom would turn into an anarchist. So, to keep people from rebelling against the system, there will be gladiatorial games. Sport will take over, and the cruelty with which has been banished from politics, perhaps football, will be replaced by play battles, or even dumber crap like Travis Kelsey's soap opera with Taylor Grift, right? Perhaps sports will rule. Football's replaced. It may be so that as long as men are allowed to seek death, they will not mind having to seek it in a trivial cause. Perhaps there will be gladiatorial games where there are glorious deaths to the amusement of holiday crowds. It may be that wise education and suitable diet might be cured, and thus all might be used to cure men of their unruly impulses. In other words, drugging the food, making the diet such that humans are big, docile goobers and slugs. They will follow a universal language, Esperanto or Pidgin. That means dumbing it down so that you don't have big words, you don't have the ability to make distinctions and use critical thinking. That's what Orwell is actually talking about in terms of controlling language. Orwell is describing the same thing that Huxley is describing because this is the Fabian socialist model. The literature of the past will not be translated into this new language. They will dumb you down so that you can't read Shakespeare or the Bible or any of the classical lit. You understand this is a plan, and everybody telling you it's not a plan doesn't understand the plan. The literature of the past will not be translated, since its outlook and emotional background will be considered unsettling. Serious students of history will be able to obtain a permit from the government to read Hamlet or Othello. You won't read Shakespeare, only government elites will, to understand the attitudes of the past. In general, the public will be forbidden access to Shakespeare, the Bible, classical literature of the Western canon, because it glorifies murder, it's triggering, it's hate speech. Bertrand Russell wrote this in 1931 as to what the technocratic plan would be in our day when they roll out the technocratic dictatorship, and he says they will ban literature, Shakespeare, the Bible, Lord of the Rings. They're doing that now. So who can see this and sit there and tell me that this is not a plan? He writes publicly of it being a plan. And he says that we can't have young boys reading adventure stories. They'll want to go out and have adventures. They want you to be a dumb, docile goober slug on your couch or in your coon pod. He says it right here for you. And then what do we see? C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, Orwell, works tagged as triggering and far-right extremism. This is what they're going to do. You try to watch Blazing Saddles, and you get a trigger warning woman popping on telling you that this is offensive hate speech. I mean, literally. Did you see people talking about this the other day? Now, that's not the only insight we have from Lord Bertie. Lord Bertie also gave us an amazing page over here on impact of science on society. What did he say here? Fabian socialist technocrat Lord Bertrand Russell, writing in 1953 that the social engineers of the future will teach the masses that snow is black, and they will believe it. This is precisely why people on a mass scale are going insane, because the technocrats planned this 100+ years ago. This ain't no conspiracy. They wouldn't talk about it. Isn't it funny that my idiot voice just natively, instinctively is Ibarra voice? My idiot voice is just instinctively Ibarra. They wouldn't write about it, because then we would know about it. Yeah, that's part of how you do gaslighting and psyops, is that you put it hidden in plain sight. Goofus and gallant. Goofus. It's in public view on purpose. Impact of Science on Society, page 30. Look at my old ass falling apart copy. Look at that. With Lord Bertie, the old demon turtle Lord Birdie, look at that. It's literally falling apart, like just hanging by a thread here. Up, Lord Birdie. And this is really what he says on page 30. Now, we had some haters a couple of years ago saying, "You're taking him out of context. He's criticizing it." No, he's not criticizing it. In fact, there's a whole page where he says that we ought to have a BIO, not BO, BIO weapon to stave off population growth. He says that re-education camps are going to be necessary. He says that the world order that is coming is based on Plato's Republic. When I've been talking for years about Plato and Plato's Republic and how it's the basis for the coming technocratic government, it's because I got it from here. And I read Plato and lectured on Plato too. I didn't just make it up. It's like, oh, I just make up stuff out of my head. No, Bertrand Russell says, the future technocratic government will make great strides under the scientific dictatorship. Anaxagoras maintained that snow is black, but no one believed him. Talking about the pre-Socratics and stuff. The social psychologists of the future will have a number of classes of school children on whom they will try different methods, behaviorism, right, Pavlov, etc., Skinnerism. That's what he's talking about. And he talks about behaviorism throughout the book, both books. Various results will be arrived at. First, the influence of the home will be obstructive. So in other words, you won't be taught by your parents. The state, the technocratic state, will rule and raise the kids and educate them. Second, not much can be done unless indoctrination begins before the age of 10. So it's absolutely important to get the younger generation, particularly under 10. Third, the verses set to music are repeated and intoned are very effective. He's saying that dumb pop music will be more effective in controlling kids, particularly beginning with under age 10, than anything else. Fourth, the opinion that snow is white must be held to show a morbid taste for eccentricity. In other words, if you continue to believe that snow is white, when the technocratic dictatorship tells you that snow is black, you'll be considered a fringe crazy person. That inversion is literally what we're seeing now with the way that people view their physical, biological makeup. So when you're trying to understand, how is it that people think that cutting off your pee-pee, right, makes you this or that? Because of technocratic indoctrination, which is described right here for you. It is for future scientists to make sure that these maxims make children believe that snow is black. In fact, he even says that they got to figure out how much it costs per student to make them believe it, and how much less it would be to cost them to make them believe that it is dark gray. Although this science of mind control will be diligently studied, it will be rigidly confined to the governing class. So you understand that the technocratic governing class and elite will know this science of mind control, and no one else will. It will be studied. The populace will not be allowed to know how its convictions are generated. So you will not be told how the technocratic elite comes to these conclusions and how they mind control you. You will be told that you will believe that the snow is black because the technocratic dictatorship tells you so. And if you deny it, it's because you're an evil bigot and you're a hate monger. Do you understand this is not what is in 1984 in fiction is based on what Bertrand Russell says will really be the case. Do you understand this? This is not that complicated. Support the stream, by the way, through Super Chats. You can do so right there, is the Super Chat function. When this technique of mind control has been perfected, every government that has been in charge of education will be able to control its subjects without the need of any armies or policemen. You won't need a police state because the scientific technocratic indoctrination will be so perfect that the subjects underneath it will be perfectly mind controlled. Perfectly mind controlled to the extent that, as Winston says to O'Brien, okay, I believe that you're holding up 5 fingers, not just because the party tells me to believe that. I now actually believe that it is 5 fingers. Do you see that? Do you understand that's the point of that chapter in 1984? It's not just tell me what I want to hear, Winston. I want you to actually believe that 2 + 2 is 5 in your heart. Why? Because the party dictates reality. The party doesn't just control and tell you things and you decide if it's true or false. The party is reality, Winston. That's the point of that whole famous Metaphysics of Evil chapter and debate in 1984 between Winston and O'Brien. It's one of the most important chapters in literature. I called O'Brien the most wicked villain in all of literature in my video on that chapter. Go watch that video if you haven't seen my video on the metaphysics debate between Winston and O'Brien. That's what Bertrand Russell's talking about. And when Eric Blair is writing about INGSOC, INGSOC is English socialism. INGSOC, English socialism, Fabian socialism. It is this. He's talking about this. But there's no such thing as a conspiracy. It doesn't exist. It's all made up, and you're a bigot if you talk about it. Right? And by the way, it does exist, and if you don't like it, it's because you're hateful. So that's doublethink right there. Yeah, so good. We got some people saying that they read 1984 for the first time. That's great. We recently did Brave New World again. Frank and I did the whole book in 4 different podcasts. And then I recently reread 1984, a year or 2 ago. And did that whole talk on that chapter about metaphysics, which is really, really wild. So, yeah. Go check that out. Now, that I think relates to this. By the way, Bertrand Russell actually talks quite a bit about China in varying ways in his book. By the way, it's not all good or bad. It's kind of unclear exactly, but he does say that China would be the future base of the NWO. So. But he also talks about depopulating Eurasia as well. Europe, Russia, and China need to be depopulated, but also they might be the future base of the NWO. So, yeah, it's maybe that was at the time period when the Western elites were debating what they really wanted to do in regard to the place of China. But we noticed that they're fast pushing the CBDC. So remember, CBDC is not going away, guys. Just because it gets discussed at, Davos in 2022, 2023. It's batted around. They talk about it. And then the whole world sort of decries it. Oh, we won, right? It's never come back. We won. Patriots win. They're just going to bring it back in the next 2 or 3 years. And they will probably wait for some crisis. So I don't know how they're going to roll it out. Maybe an economic collapse. And then they say, you want to get your government credits to get your government cheese? Download your CBDC government wallet with FedCoin, right? That could be the way they go with it. Philip sends $5 and says, God bless. Thank you so much, Philip. Appreciate that. Shoemouth sends $10 and says, show feet again. Well, what I'm going to do is grow out my toe, my pinky toe, to have a long Panamanian drug lord nail so that I can dip my toe into the coke pack like a damn Panamanian drug lord who was raised by monkeys, like, who's the dude? Tarzan, right? And then I'm gonna sniff it from my toenail, right, like that. And for those that are wondering, I am wearing pants, so I'm not sitting here in my skivvies. I am wearing pants. But hey, they sent it $10. I gotta do it, bro. Alula, $10. Jay, I hope you and Jamie had a good Valentine's Day. Well, we did. And this was my Valentine's present to Jamie and to you all. Don't leave me hanging this Valentine's Day. Also, I sent Jamie the classic Nick Cage, You're My National Treasure Valentine. I hope that you can do a Lord of the Rings trilogy stream. Now, we're planning to do this. I just can't figure out the right way to do it. Whether to do a Lord of the Rings stream. Me and Tim talked about it. You're saying Kotel, Tristan, Andrew, Jim Bob, David Erhan, Kyle. Everybody wants to talk about it. Yeah, we do need to talk about it. It's just so massive. I can't figure out the right way to do it. Do we do it in one stream? Do we do it over like, multiple streams? Tim Gordon teaches a whole class on Lord of the Rings. So I'm really hoping to also talk to Tim about it. Skooma Bear, $5. You should interview Vlad. What questions would you ask him? Well, in the 4-hour live stream that I did, I went into a lot of critiques of the interview with Tucker. I talked about that, my analysis of Putin is that he's a pragmatic leader. Orthodoxy for him is really a pragmatic concern. And there's areas there, I think, to critique. He said a lot of good things, that the Western Anglosphere is based on pragmatism. He talked about these sort of Dostoevskian ideas of eternal truths, Platonic ideas. And that's good. Mark Hackard has articles that he translated over at Espionage History Archive and sold east from Ivan Ilyin about Dostoevsky and Platonism. And I think Putin has read Ilyin. He does consider Ilyin an influence. So I would probably ask questions about that. But, questions relating to a lot of the CIA operations, I would ask too, because all that came up in the Tucker interview. So if you want more on that, I did cover it. You can go to my X here, and you get the first half, the first 2 hours of my analysis of the Tucker Vlad interview is right here. I'll give it to, I want to play this one again because this got like 70, 80,000 views over on Instagram. So I want to play that one again for you guys. Let's see. By the way, whoa, dude. What happened to frickin' Megan Fox? Yikes. Ugh. I don't understand why people... I think a little bit of plastic surgery, is not a big deal. But what's with these women who end up wanting to look like a blow-up doll? It's so gross. Like, why? It's just... Ugh. Don't look like a blow-up doll. I got to scroll down to find my... Where is that at? My first 2 hours analysis of Tuck and Vlad. Your favorite comedy duo group, Tuck and Vlad. It's on here somewhere. Did I go past it? Did I go too far? Football is gone. Right. Y'all remember my video? We're going to find this. Just let me see. It shouldn't be that far down. By the way, I did a great 10 minutes with Allison over at OAN. If you missed that OAN interview, it turned out good. Everybody said it was a great 10-minute summary. So go check that out on X as well. Also with Deanna Lorraine on her show Shots Fired, we had a good 25-minute interview, 30-minute interview on PsyOps and Super Bowl. So go check that out. Where is my coverage of the Tuck and Vlad? It shouldn't be that far down. It was like literally a couple days ago. By the way, Austin Peterson still thinks he won the debate. Okay. Yeah, dude, keep telling yourself that. Sure. Well, let me play this while I'm looking for it, because this is crazy. Because Megan Fox was looking rough, and then people forgot that when I was saying, she's well, if you act like a witch, you might turn into a hag, right?
yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for
You hear that?
But yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes. This is a very intense relationship and it's cyclical, and so it gets to these points where like we have to do cleansings. I had gotten to a point where I was like, we need an adrenaline injection of God in this relationship. And so we went to
That drinking blood is not God. Right? So she went from this to looking like this. What? Seriously, don't try to look like a blow-up doll. It's not that hard.
yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes.
Rituals?
This is a very intense relationship and it's cyclical, and so it gets to these points where like we have to do cleansing.
All this, Instagram yoga chick gibberish. Our relationship is cyclical. We have to do cleansings, and we got to get an injection of God through eating blood. Okay, that's not God. It's just superstition, right? I mean, what have we seen from our TikTok analysis live streams of witch talk? It's just a bunch of garbage, dude. It's just the trash that's laying around. How can I get creative with that and turn that into something mystical?
I had gotten to a point where I was like, we need an adrenaline injection of God in this relationship. And so we went to Costa Rica and we had Peruvian shamans who administered
Peruvian
ayahuasca. We went and he sat, so we get
Peruvian shamans who live in tents on the beach, and then they like ask for $10,000 to do a guided trip.
given his ayahuasca and everybody else was being given one glass of ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. If you say ayahuasca, it's way more spiritual than if you said ayahuasca. It's ayahuasca because you get really high.
And the shaman said something in her native language, and then the interpreter.
Oh, it's a her. It's a her shaman, even more super spiritual.
To give you 3 doses because you have such a dark, sad spirit standing behind you, like an actual, like demonic spirit hovering over him.
It's like a sad demon, just kind of like sitting back there and like moping. It's like an emo demon. It's just moping in the background and just like sucking away the positive vibes into the negative vibes.
To no one's surprise, anyone that knows him, they're all like, no, when I tell that story, nobody's like, oh my God. Everybody's like, mm-hmm. And then what?
Yes,
Totally. We all just a few drops.
Yes. So much yes. Anyway. I'm trying to find the Tucker talk. Ticker tape, Tucker talk. Ticker tape, Tucker talk. Oh yeah, I remember this chick. Never even heard. Somebody said, "Oh, Ice Spice was at the Super." I'm like, are they bringing out the Spice Girls? Literally, I thought it was the Spice Girls. I'm like, okay, Usher and Little John, that's mid 2000s. Spice Girls, that's 90s. What are we talking about bringing? No, Ice Spice with her inverted cross and her devil horns, looking gross too. By the way, what's freaking? She looks like a slow girl with Ronald McDonald hair, right? She needs a multi-pass for the short bus. Get it? Multi-pass because of the hair. Anyway, y'all don't even know. Multi-pass. Where is my Tucker talk? Ticker tape, Tucker talk. Football is gone.
It's a message to America.
Football is gone. Nope, that's not it. Not it. It should be. Here we go. Here it is. So I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys. This is the first 2 hours covering Vlad and Tuck. There's the link right there. Go watch that if you want to see the first hour. Then you can sign up for the second half if you want it. If you want it, come and get it. You better hurry, cause it's going fast. What is that song? I don't know why that popped in my head. Let's see. What else are we talking about here? Scientists warn of dream manipulation. What? What is this? This is that prisoner episode. I'm pulling from the memory banks, the Arcana right here. I'm going into the Akashic records in my mind, dude. Remember the prisoner episode about the manipulation of number 6's dreams? Nobody remembers that, do they? I do.
Aristotle is going in depth with a sleep researcher to explain why some are calling for more government oversight.
Oh yeah, that'll help. Oh, by the way, do you guys remember in the talk that I did on MK Ultra in Australia, when I found that dude's obscure book, do you remember that one of the MK Ultra doctors in Australia, one of the big ones, the one that was like the most famous serial killer, Harry something, he was doing mind control sleep research. And he was like putting people to flatliner stuff, bro. Like putting people to sleep, aka death, and then bringing them back. Literal flatliners with, who's in that? Emilio? No, Kiefer. Kiefer and Julia Roberts. Remember Flatliners? It's an awful but fun, amazingly fun, horrible movie from what, 1990? That's freaking MK Ultra stuff, dude. All of these movies are basically just one of the programs of MK Ultra. Just pick any movie remotely connected to this kind of stuff. It's some real MK Ultra program. Okay, Flatliners, yes, that's the MK Ultra dude in Australia. Harry, let's see what's his name. He's one of Australia's most prolific serial killers. Let's see, Australia. No, I can't put MK Ultra because it won't come up. Sleep studies, killer. Because he's like the most prolific serial killer. Killer doctor sleep experiments. This sounds like it.
Hi, Mark.
I have the book. It's printed out though. It's like an online book though.
We were told nothing about the treatment. All we knew is that he was going to be put to sleep for 3 weeks. And
I was right. Harry. Dr. Harry Bailey. Interesting. So I did not know there was actually a documentary on this guy. So here's the documentary on YouTube. I'll put this in the chat for you guys. Harry Bailey. Yes, people don't know he was actually involved in MK studies. So this looks like a pretty good old school 90s. Whoa, dude, we got some serious 90s momcore hair going on right here. So yeah, we got a lot of 90s momcore. Yeah. Was he killing people? Yeah. He's an MK Ultra doctor. Yeah. Did he go after the moms? Yeah. My mom's here. She got a lot of bad dreams. Dr. Harry got in her mind. Yeah. Crikey. Anyway, where we at?
This video of streams and mountains is designed to make you dream about Coors Light in a positive way.
Get into your bed and get comfortable.
And an experiment funded by the company suggests...
Can you tell me what you were dreaming?
It worked.
I think it was something to do with Coors.
This was more of a stunt than a rigorous study. Coors says some of the participants were paid actors. But UC Irvine dream researcher Dr.
Paid actors. Did you notice it looks like the actual video dream? It looks like freaking... It looks like Lawnmower Man. This is Lawnmower Man. How is... Remember when Zuckerberg tried to have Metaverse? And it looked like Lawnmower Man level graphics? How have we not progressed in terms of graphics and all of this bull crap from frickin' Lawnmower Man? Lawnmower Man, Stephen King. Who's the star of Lawnmower Man? A slow boy. Once again, we have all of the elements of a Stephen King. We got greasers, bullies, slow boys. Slow boys in this case that become gods. Right?
Are you a god?
Look at this, though. Lawnmower Man level stuff. I'm going to start a new theory that basically the internet, the Matrix, the pods were let loose in the 90s. And all of us, we basically entered into the Matrix at some point in the 90s. And that's why all of the stuff is frozen at this level. So at some point, all of us went to the mall and we got inside the, what do you call these things? These vomit machines at the mall where you sit in this thing and it spins you around. Remember those in the 90s in the mall? You could get in this stupid ass thing. What's it called? There's a name for that thing that spins you in all the directions. And people thought, oh, what if we combine that thing with virtual reality? Oh, yeah, then I can throw up in the Matrix, right? It's like just ridiculous inventions. But this was very prominent in Lawnmower Man. So I think that all of us in this world now, we basically at some point went to the mall in the 90s and we got in this stupid contraption and we got tricked into going into the Matrix in the 90s. And so that's the world that we live in now. And that's why the graphics for the Matrix within the Matrix still look like Lawnmower Man, dude. I mean, look at this.
A stunt than a rigorous study. Core says some of the participants were paid actors. But UC Irvine dream researcher Dr. Sarah Mednick says the science here is very real.
There's several studies that show that we can get in there while someone's sleeping and completely unbeknownst to the person, bias whatever processing is going on to be specific to whatever we want them to think.
She was one of 40 sleep scientists who published a letter this month warning about the rise of this technique called dream incubation. Other companies like Burger King, Microsoft, and Sony have experimented with it in recent years.
We're more vulnerable to the influence.
Great. So now it's just like Burger King and McDonald's are basically just going to literally mind control you. I mean, we're at total dystopia now. Like, what's that thing called? I still can't think of that stupid thing. Yeah, something Atron. Centrifuge? Is it a centrifuge? Did anybody actually ever get on that thing? Gyrotron? Probably. That sounds right. All these names sound right. It's a stupid ass invention anyway. Oh, dude, spin me in every direction so I can throw up in every direction. I want to be able to vomit 360 is what that thing is all about. With that stupid ass Lawnmower Man. By the way, we did Lawnmower Man. It was fun too. Because you got basically a slow boy becoming a god. Oh, come on now. Nothing comes up when I search for it. That's one of our... No, here it is. I just got Tom Coombe on the phone. So if you missed our Lawnmower Man stream, this was a classic. We did Matrix movies that were not the Matrix. Vanilla Sky, Videodrome, Lawnmower Man, Existence with Jude Law. I was. No, the Gravitron is the thing that spins you at the carnival. I'm talking about the thing that you get in that spins you. And that's not the Gravitron. Come on, y'all. Come on. Did nobody... It's not the Gravitron. The Gravitron is that stupid thing at the carnival that spins you around. See, you guys are way off. This is the freaking Gravitron. This dumbass thing. That's another basically just vomit inducer. That's all that is. Oh, let me buy a bunch of funnel cakes. Let me eat a pound of funnel cake so that I can get on this stupid ass thing and vomit it everywhere. So it's not the Gravitron. It has a different name. It's called nobody knows what I'm talking about. Am I the only person from the 90s? No one else is. Everybody's from frickin' 2000s. Come on, you guys. It's a thing that you get in. It's what the guys in Lawnmower Man. You used to go to the mall and you could get in this stupid ass thing and you put the goggles on. I never did it because I thought it looked like literally no fun, just making me want to vomit. But it spins you in a 360 direction. Jamie, what's that thing called? The thing at the mall that spins you in every direction. The vomit comet. There we go. The zipper. The gyroscope. I think we're in the right direction here. Shout out to Eerie Fairy Tales. I think it's called the gyroscope. It's not the gravitron. Shame on you, Jamie. You're in the same error land with all the people in the chat. The gravitron is the thing at the carnival that just spins you in a circle and makes you throw up. Makes you throw all your funnel cake up. I'm talking about the thing that you sit with all of your 5 points extended and it spins you in every direction. 360 degrees. Like in Lawnmower Man. Gyroscope. Exactly. Yeah, now we're talking. Shout out to Eerie Fairy Tale. She got it right, I think. No, that's... Well, this is not pulling up that. A gyroscope is something different. But that's in the right direction. A gyrating scope. Centrifuge, nobody can figure this thing out. It was at the mall, man. Psychotron. I like these names y'all are coming. The toilet, exactly. Funneltron. No. Nobody knows this thing. So these things were not ultimately very successful, I don't think. You can still find these things at museums and theme parks, yes. Human gyroscope. Let's try that. Because it spins you in every direction, and you're supposed to be able to put the VR goggles on. And probably everybody... Yeah, this is kind of it. There we go. Human gyroscope. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this fat dude Boomer trying to try one out.
Going from survival mode.
I want to see one from the 90s though at the mall. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this Boomer. What's he doing?
This is the gyrotron.
Gyrotron.
Exciting, exhilarating, and a great workout.
It does not look exciting or exhilarating. It looks like it just is going to make you throw up. It's just it's an epicac. You don't know what an epicac is?
And another thing about the gyrotron, it is anything you want it to be. If you want a slow, easy ride,
it's anything I want it to be. Really. So basically, throw up in any way that you want to throw up. All the various ways that you want to vomit, this thing can do it. It can do it for you. It's there for you.
If you want a fast ride, you control it, and it's all done by changing your center of gravity.
Whoa! This is like some crap. They're like, oh, this trains the astronauts, right?
Philip, if you'll unlock it, I'll show you how this works.
So in the 90s, when you go to the mall, these things were in the mall, and you're supposed to get in this thing. It's just a ripoff, right? Just cheating moms and dads out of dollars left and right. Epicac. It's a thing that induces vomiting, like castor oil. If you drink a bunch of, like a cartoon, dude, you drink a bunch of castor oil, and you will vomit.
Okay, so now it's released, and I can go slow and easy, nice and easy.
Take it easy, Boomer. Well, it doesn't look like he's getting much of a workout. So if he's trying to sell me on this thing, giving me a workout with that carbohydrate pudge, I'm not buying it, bro.
I can go anywhere I want to go.
Whoa.
Like here or here.
I can't believe I can't believe none of y'all knew this thing except for the Pucatron, Eerie Fairy Tales. She nailed it. But let's see. Let's see one go. I want to see one going fast where somebody's actually vomiting. I want to see a dude at the mall vomiting in this stupid ass thing. You know what I mean? All right, before we do the vomiting, let's see. 90s mall. I'm going to prove to y'all that I'm right with this thing. We love these rabbit trails. Okay, but here's Heather. Heather's in the gyroscope, but is she throwing up? That's what I want. Okay. This is Heather 17 years ago. Go for it, girl. Woo! Do that thing, girl. Okay, but when she gets off, you know that thing's going to make you throw up. Dude, I rode the Mars mission ride in like 10 years ago. Whew, man, I thought I was going to lose it after that. Have y'all been on the Mars mission at Disney? Ugh. Try not to throw up after that thing. People at the mall in the 90s. No, I just want to see a gyroscope in the mall. That's it. Anyway, we're done. That's enough of this stuff. We've solved the mysteries. But I don't know. They just don't have them at the mall anymore. That's just malls are dying. That's the thing. All right. I mean, the 90s mall is Dead Mall, and that's a Jamie and I are gonna make a movie called Dead Mall. So remember the mall in the 90s? Look at this. People just walking around the mall in the 90s. Look at all these ads. Anyway, do we have any more news we're going to get to? So Burger King is going to be invading our dreams now. The dystopia just gets worse and worse. It's just never-ending nonsense and craziness. I wish we could just go back to walking around in the mall in 1996. Look, just hang out in Dillard's, man. Just stay over here in Dillard's for a minute. And let's just pretend it's Dillard's in 1996, dude. And you got your moms, you got, tech guy here, you got Bill Gates here walking here on the left. You got some sisters shopping. See, this is calming, right? This is like the new ASMR is, mom jeans out the wall. Everybody's got mom jeans everywhere. That's all that existed in 1996. Mom jeans, more mom jeans. What else is going on at the mall? Mom. Everybody's got dads, grandpas have got mom jeans on back in 96, man. Look, you got, who's that chick that wore the Trump dress? Remember her? There she is, right there. The girl that wore the black girl that wore the Trump dress. That's her right there at the mall, shopping. Got some Ray-Bans. What else? Mom jeans again. Dude, the mall, Dillard's in 96 was lit. Look, Christmas time. Christmas celebrations. The dude got a Big Johnson shirt. Remember Big Johnson shirts? Look at this guy. Big Johnson. He's a funny dude. Class clown. I'm joking. It wasn't a Big John. Massimo. Remember Massimo shirts? No Fear shirts. Remember No Fear shirts? Grandmas getting bling. Easy bling access. Big girls need love too in the 90s. What's up? Shout out. Awful haircuts. Acceptable. Everyone just accepts these horrible haircuts in the 90s. Mom jeans out the butt. Everywhere. Just giant butts everywhere. Mom jeans everywhere. Out the wazoo. Meemaws at the mall. What else? What else is going on? Can we leave Dillard's? I've had enough of. I don't need anything else at Dillard's. Let's go to Walden Books. Let's go to what else is? Let's go to Suncoast Video. Remember Suncoast Video? This has turned into the mall, dude. 96 mall. Y'all like these avenues we go down? You thought we were talking about Klaus all night? Nah, man. We're going shopping. Gadzooks. Remember that? Yes. We got to get Grandpa some new cargo shorts. Cargo shorts everywhere in the 90s, for real. Your aunt. This is a perfect wine aunt right here. Shopping for sweaters, cardigans. Wine ants out the wazoo. 30% off. Dude, is that offer still available? Offer still valid at Dillard's 1996. 25% off. Whoa, dude. You got Kate from accounting. You got shopping with Kate from accounting. You got brothers and sisters living in harmony. No tensions. The mall bringing all cultures together. True diversity at the mall. Everybody happy. Libertarianism proven. Shop peace via the marketplace. BTFO. BTFO, fascists and statists. Libertarianism proven right here. Racial harmony. Everybody coexist at the mall. Happy shoppers. Got a nice haul. Look at that haul. Damn. Them sisters living right. What else is going on? Deontay over here ringing everybody up. Shout out. Yes, make sure the balances are correct. What's up? Gonna give me some Jinko jeans? Delisa's getting some Jinkos. Your uncle's over here picking out a sweater. Look how calm this is. You know what I mean? 90s Christmas 96. What's up? Where's the super chats at? Y'all don't want to go to the mall. All right, we'll leave the mall. Y'all had enough of 1996. All right, we're leaving. Okay, all we did was we went to Dillard's and freaking J.C. Penney's, and y'all want to leave. We haven't even gone to Suncoast Video. We haven't even gone to Walnut Books yet, and y'all ready to leave. All right, fine. Let's go. We're out of here. Y'all are being bad kids tonight. I have to put y'all in the back seat because you're all acting up. Fine. You kids get in the car. We're going home. Y'all are acting up. You don't want to be you don't deserve to be at the mall.
How we communicate.
You're going to go back to listening to Klaus lectures. And you're not going to be good enough. If y'all kids keep in the chat, keep acting up, then we're leaving this mall right now.
This is important gathering. Thank you, Minister.
All right, this is just the same clip. All they do is say the same crap, dude.
Green.
All right. That's enough of that. I was going to talk about UFOs. I found this clip. Let's see what this is talking about. Alaska. So, in Alaska, there's towns where they have the most UFO sightings.
Is a major commercial and transportation hub on the Cook Inlet. Fishing boats flow in and out of the that comes with the territory.
All right, well, maybe that's not going to work. Because if I keep playing that clip, it's going to... Please, y'all want to go back to the mall? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Y'all have not been good. Y'all didn't know what the gyroscope was. You're all complaining, acting up. You're not thankful for the place that you have. It's clear diversity. Y'all are fussing about the mall, claiming it's consumerism. So if you're not going to be thankful for what you have, then you kids are going to be in detention. You're going to be given a timeout when you get home. Everybody's getting timeouts when we get back home.
Jaw-dropping clip stunts on the internet. Jaw-dropping stuns the internet. Jaw-dropping clip stuns the internet.
Ham. You're about to see some of the most mysterious videos going around the internet. So smash that subscribe button right now and get ready for some creepy content.
Creepy content. Slap ham.
Who says I can't do a freaking Australian accent? I will merely point you to my slapped hands. Anyway, remind you guys also, we've had a fun time tonight. I'm a little talked out. We've been going for 2 hours. If you want to support the show, do so. Streamlabs, Super Chat at any point. I will read them. Remember that we have a live event coming up here with Jamie Kennedy. 5 hours of lectures, talk, and fun. So there's the link. Get your tickets right now. It's a month away. You've got 1 month. Be sure. It's only $45. Come on, that's standard fare. I mean, a normal comedy show is like 30, right? So this is 5 hours of value for 45. That's nothing, bro. And yes, there will be book signings. Bring your books to get signed. Come and get books. Everybody hit like and share. We had a good trip to the mall, even though y'all kids acted up. You're grounded next week. That means you're going to be stuck inside watching Lawnmower Man. I rented all you kids Lawnmower Man on VHS, so you can watch that tonight. But you're not going out anywhere. You've been bad. So I don't really have enough vitality to go into alien crap. I mean, we've already talked about alien crap endlessly, so we'll call it a night. If you guys would hit like and share, also subscribe on all of my platforms. Remember also to turn on the notifications. If you don't want to miss live streams, if you want to be here present for them, you have to turn on notifications in your notification settings for YouTube and be sure and get alerted